This spring I'm going to be getting into bait casting, and what I have here is pretty much going to be my all-purpose sort of standard bait casting equipment setup. And then if I want to do something that's like frogging, then I'm going to probably use something a little bit more heavy duty. So let me go ahead and show you what I have here. Now I'm pretty familiar with Luz's spinning reels because it's what I have on my other rods, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm hoping that the Luz bait casting reel is going to be just as good for me. Now this particular one is the Speed Spool LFS, and it's the SSG1SH baitcaster model, and it is the high-speed 751 gear ratio version. So let's go ahead and get it out of the box and have a look at it. So this is the reel here. It's all metal construction, and I think a lot of them really are. And what you have here is this has got a nice sort of a matte gunmetal gray finish here, and then it has a matte black finish on the outside. The traditional loose sort of handles that are sort of rubberized and grippy a little bit in case your hands are wet. Now on these, they are changeable. I guess you can go and find some other ones and change them out. And the reason I say that is because you pretty much have two minds on this: the people that don't mind them and the people that do. Oh, I think my cat's going to make his standard cameo appearance here. Excuse me. Hey, buddy. There we go. Sorry about that. And what I have this currently spooled up with is some 12-pound fluoro clear, and it's I believe P-line. And the reason being is that since this is going to be my first time using a bait caster, and I've never used braid before, I thought that using this would be a little bit easier for my getting used to this and going through the learning curve that comes along with using a bait caster. It'll also be a lot easier to pick out a bird's nest when that's going to happen to me. So pretty much you have an outside adjustment here for the brakes, so it's not one of those ones where you have to take off this outside piece in order to adjust it. And I thought that was pretty good, especially for someone who's pretty new, because I'm going to be probably playing around with that a little bit. And then here you have your tension, and then your drag is here, this little star sort of assembly here. So that's pretty much the bait casting reel there. And what I'm going to go ahead and set that up with is going to be this Celis rod, and this is actually a crankbait rod made by Shimano. Let me see if I can get the specs in here. So this is a 7-foot rod, and you can see the line mono and the Power Pro there. The lure rate, which is 3/8 to 1 ounce. It is a medium heavy action fast, and it's the 24-ton rod there. So there you go. Sorry, I got distracted. I thought my cat was going to jump up again. And basically, I think this is going to be a good sort of beginning rod for me. I didn't want something bottom of the barrel, but kind of wanted something that was going to be good for at least learning and kind of getting out there. And again, as I said, when I get into doing like frogs and such, I'm going to be using something quite a bit more heavy duty maybe. And here you can see the tag, and it sort of indicates that this rod would be good for using on jigs, on maybe some top waters. I see some Texas rig worms there, the crankbait, and the spinnerbait, which are all things that I intend to use this rod for, so that's great. And the one nice thing about the Shimano is that, if I can turn this the right way, the butt of all of their rods sort of is like a cheat to kind of give you a little idea of what that rod is good for. So that's the one on there. And I try to stick all with Shimano rods anyway. It's not as much a brand preference, although I like the Shimanos, as it is the fact that I understand that the power ratings on rods are not an industry standard. So if I pretty much stick with one brand, then I always know if I'm using a medium, it's going to be a medium compared to the other rods in that line. So this is pretty much my very first bait casting setup. And wish me luck. We'll see how I do. Might make for some interesting videos. Be careful when you go in to get your reel spooled with new line, because while you're waiting for your turn, this is what can happen. The result of salespeople not being available right away. Bad tackle shop.